Haha, let's get this party started.
High def with the professional.
Greasy Says.
Yeah. Check 1 2. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. This is Greasy Says. I'm watching my neighbor try to plug in his electric car in the rain. I know I said I wanted an EV, but I didn't think about that part. It's probably safe, right? He just left it there in the wet grass, the cable. That's probably fine. It's probably safe, right? Doesn't turn your lawn into a Bioshock lightning trap, does it? I don't think so. There he goes in his cool electric car. Man, I want an electric car. Maybe next year. Because we're about to head into a recession, right? That's what everybody's saying. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of layoffs in tech. I'm sorry for y'all out there. Sorry to start on a bummer too. But I'm sorry to all the people out there who may have got cut from a team or, you know what I mean, reduced hours or some shit, got fired, got let go. Don't worry, everything will pick back up. You'll get back on your feet. But that's how it is right now, man. The end of the year, especially in the gaming industry, the end of the year is usually when you see a bunch of layoffs happen. I mean, they can happen anytime. But those Q1 earnings, man, something about coming back from the break and them Q1 earnings, the shareholders get real dicey. I think it's because all the shareholders are like, this holiday shit is expensive. What's my money doing? And they come back in the new year with vigor, with extra piss and vinegar in their bodies, just looking for profit. I get it. Makes sense. I got money in companies, you know what I mean? I own stocks and shit. Like, I want those motherfuckers to do well too. You know what I mean? This is Greasy Says, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, people of the Greasy sphere. I want to welcome you back. This is also the last episode of the season, so I also want to say goodbye. Here on Greasy Says, we talk about the gaming industry. I'm a game developer. I've been making games for like 16 years. I've worked on a ton of games, different consoles, different genres. Yeah, lots of different positions in the gaming industry, so I like to talk about games on here. I like to talk about things that are happening in the industries, things that have happened to me. For example, I know the person listens to this podcast, right? I know this person listens to the podcast. I don't know if they're gonna listen to this episode, but they might. Somebody called me somebody said I was misanthropic.
Ooh.
The other day.
Ooh, them's fighting words, right? Them's fighting words?
After I looked up what that word meant, I was like, nah, I'm not misanthropic.
You sure?
I just generally don't like the way people behave and have very little faith in humanity. Don't call me misanthropic. It's good to learn new words, y'all. Make sure you learn a new word every day. If you hear somebody say some shit in a conversation and you nod your head and kind of smile, but you really don't know what the shit mean, when you get a free moment, just pull your phone out and look up the word. And then boom, you expanded your vocabulary. That's not even a game development tip. That's just like a tip for life, you know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta read books, not just articles.
Is that more advice for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I know, I don't read enough. I mean, isn't reading the text boxes in a video game considered reading a book. If you're playing an RPG, a JRPG, and you're reading all the text boxes, you're essentially reading a book. So that counts, right? Sure, they gotta fill in a bunch of my imagination with graphics and people doing stuff and monsters and creatures and facial expressions, but you know, I'm still reading. Kinda. Really kinda. Listen, this is not a trial about how stupid I am.
Okay, relax.
All right, so don't be looking all don't be smug mugging listening to this podcast. I know I'm dumb.
Yeah, so just read more.
I also know I'm smart. And a misanthrope. So, anybody been on fucking social media recently? Of course you have. Have you seen everybody putting up AI art versions of themselves? Sure you have. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's amazing that we have access to this technology that can recreate us so easily through AI. Like, it takes absolutely no effort on our part. But I'm worried, y'all. I'm worried. I'm not worried about AI taking over the world so much. Like, it will. It's gonna happen. It's already happening. It's already happened. Right? We're in that age now. I'm worried about y'all and how you view yourselves, your self-image. Like, I'm seeing a lot of these AI pictures and every one of y'all look like an Avenger or some shit. Y'all have this crazy high perception of yourselves that is not true. You do not look like fucking Hawkeye or you know, you're not swole like the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I'm saying? All of these AI pictures, everybody looking fly as hell. Where are the goofy ass AI pictures? Where's the AI picture that looks like how you think you look when you look in the mirror? I want to see those versions of the AI pictures. Anybody gonna post those? Anybody gonna grow a pair and post some ugly ass AI pictures? This is the picture of me sitting on the couch with my hand down my pants, covered in chips. Belly out, stinking. Show me that AI picture. I want to see that. If I ever put out an AI picture of myself, which I probably won't, I'm gonna go hyper realistic. Yeah. Hyper realistic. AI picture of me being super insecure in a social situation and not talking to anyone and feeling really weird about it. Like, that would be my picture. My picture would be like me in the car, listening to drum and bass, picking my nose at a stoplight. My AI would be me all bruised up after trying to do jujitsu and getting owned by like everybody in the gym and being all sore and achy and old looking. That's what my shit would look like. I would want an AI picture of myself the millisecond before I sneezed. That's what I want to see.
Ooh, maybe we should tell people to send their terrible AI pics to Greasy Says on Instagram. Huh?
So I haven't started playing Ragnarok yet, and I'm like avoiding people like crazy because I don't want to get anything spoiled. I ain't trying to look at no videos, none of that shit. And like, okay, I follow the lead artist on that game, and he posts, you know, images of his like amazing 3D characters, the work he's done. And even that, I'm like, nope, hide all your notifications, bud, because you getting a little bit too far into the story with all these characters you're revealing on your feed. So I can't be looking at your feed no more. Nope, delete Instagram, that's it. Don't need to follow Rafa Grasetti anymore. Is that his name, Rafa Grasetti? I think his name's that, yeah. Dope ass fucking artist, man. Holy shit. Incredible work. Yeah. So I've been playing some other shit, man. I'll talk about some of them today. But yeah, I was in the mood for a Metroidvania type game, and I think I found that. And I found an unexpected gem that I got on sale, and I wasn't sure it was going to be any good, and I thought I may have left this genre of game behind, but apparently I haven't, which is very impressive. So I look forward to talking about that in today's What You Playing. Remember, y'all could reach out to me on social media. That's Greasy Says under TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And you can also check out my music under the name M-Cue, that's M-C-U-E, and that's on SoundCloud. Does anybody use SoundCloud anymore? I do. Do you? I don't know. Let me know. Spotify, Bandcamp, all the streaming services. Go check out my music too. And don't forget to share episodes of Greasy Says with people you love and people that you don't love. You know what I mean? If you think this particular subject that I'm talking about is gonna piss off someone that you know, just send it to them. Send it to them. And they'll be like, why did this person send me this jackass who talks about video game development and often not about video game development and is mildly entertaining? And maybe you can answer that question over the holiday dinners or gatherings that you may attend. Oh man, how many of y'all looking forward to the holidays? Right? Family, friends, drinking, chilling, smoking, talking shit, going back home if you going back home, hosting if you hosting. It's a good time of year, right? Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. But watch out. Don't take the bait. Be careful. Don't get into no political conversations. Don't bring up Elon Musk. Don't bring up Joe Rogan. Stay away from talk about Elden Ring or Animal Crossing. Well, maybe unless you're super into Animal Crossing. But do not get trapped in an Animal Crossing conversation if you do not wish to be in an Animal Crossing conversation. That's all I'm saying. Be careful out there. Before we kick off the rest of the show, I'm just going to keep rambling. I'm just going to do it because that's what I do. I wanted to talk about the albums of the year.
Albums of the year.
Wow. I listen to a lot of music. Probably not as much as some other people I know, some other musicians that I know who consume music. They just binge music all day long. But this year, 2022, right, with all of the other bullshit that happened in 2022 had some of the most fire records in like maybe the last like 4 years. Fire albums. And I want to take a moment to tell y'all about these. Maybe you heard them, maybe you haven't. You probably heard a few of them, right? Okay. I mean, we got blessed. Mr. Morales, Kendrick's record, bomb shit. Came out of nowhere. It's like listening to a thesis, man. Like, it's actually one of those records that I listened to a lot at first and then stopped listening to because every time I listened to it, it was like a workout, like a mental workout, and I'd be tired after listening to that shit. Like that record was education and like mental calisthenics trying to keep up with that record. It was crazy. Fire. Gifted by Coffee. Okay. One of the new princesses, if you want, not queen yet, but a princess of dancehall and of reggae. Her record, Gifted, was fantastic front to back. Fire shit. Carried me through a lot of summer. It was amazing. If you haven't checked that record out, go check it right now. And then Not Tight by probably my new favorite band ever. I missed them. They came to my city. I didn't get to see them. I kick myself constantly for not going to that fucking show because they're probably going to be way more famous the next time I see them, and tickets will be way more expensive and I won't be able to get as close. But Not Tight by Domi and JD Beck. That might be my album of the year, hands down. It's definitely the album I listen to the most. a mix between hip hop and jazz. Very, very complex, incredible jazz by two of the craziest players that I've heard in a long time. Very young and incredibly talented. That record is I mean, they got Thundercat and Herbie Hancock on the same record. All right, so just think about that for a second. It's unbelievable. Louis, right? I said fuck Lewis's, except this one.
That's right.
Louis by
Kenny Beats.
what's wrong with by Kenny Beats?
Yeah, come on.
Kenny Beats basically debut record.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's a classic. It's a fucking classic. It's like it's almost like a Donuts. I don't want to be sacrilegious or nothing like that, but it's like
Whoa.
this for a debut. This Beats record is one of the craziest records ever. It's so energetic. It's so jazzy. It's so pretty. It's so grimy. It's everything.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard that, just press pause. Go listen to that shit. And then finally on my list, I'll show there's more, right? Finally on my list was Cheat Codes. That's Black Thought and Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse.
Fire.
I mean, this is his great return right here.
Fire.
And he puts out a record with arguably the best MC to ever grace the planet. And this shit is complete utter hellfire, man. Like, the features on that shit are incredible. The beats are incredible. The orchestration is incredible. The bars are, I mean, there's Black Thought bars, so, you know, signed, sealed, delivered. Greatness. I've been very, very excited about the albums that came out this year. Are you listening to anything that I should be listening to? What are your albums of the year of 2022? Reach out to me on social media, Greasy Says on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and just let me know what you listening to. You know what I mean? I might talk about it in the next episode when I come back for the season 3. What were your records of this year? Let me know. I always need to know new music, so always hook your boy up. Hook your boy up. Hook the greasy people up that are out there listening so that we could all benefit. All right, Greasy Says on Instagram, on social media is what I really wanted to say. But I said instant. So, Greasy Says on Instant. What you play, what you play, what you play,
What you playing?
what are you playing?
What you playing?
Been playing 2 games. The first, Dead Cells. Dead Cells is the game I think I always wanted when I was like 21 years old, right? Symphony of the Night type game was few and far between back then. And personally, I remember clamoring for a pixel side-scroller Metroidvania type game back then. Like, I couldn't get enough of those games. Those games were the most fun. They had the most like longevity. If you're a completionist, you love those types of games. New Game Plus, etc., etc. In today's climate, there are quite a few of those games because those games are nostalgia. So nostalgia sells nowadays. That's why board games are back. But this one is well done. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Metroidvania game at all, but the art style is great. The animation is great. It feels a lot like Symphony of the Night. I would say it doesn't play like Symphony of the Night, but it tries to look like Symphony of the Night. But it's not as dark and serious and foreboding as Symphony of the Night. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. The main character is hilarious. There's very much like a lot of fourth wall breaking, making fun of the game, makes fun of itself often. I mean, there's you can use a pan, like a frying pan on the end of a rope, and that's a weapon. I think they call it a pan chaku or something like that. That's hilarious. Yeah. It's a roguelike. So, you know, you die over and over and over and you get stronger and stronger and you level up your base character and the skills that character might have access to. You up your chance of rolling a weapon that's really good when you start a level after you die. And it's pretty hard. I mean, it doesn't hold your hand in terms of difficulty. It kills you a lot early. And that might turn a lot of people off if you're not into Metroidvania type, or if you're not into roguelikes, I should say. It doesn't pull punches at the beginning of the game. But as you invest more time and build up your character and your sort of backlog of abilities, levels get easier. You end up playing for longer. So it's been a lot of fun playing that type of game. But it's a dangerous game because, like I'm saying, the game sometimes would take 2 to 3 minutes per session. Like you would play through, die, and then you'd start over. And at that point, you could be like, I feel defeated, I quit. And you'd walk away. But now I've reached a point where every time I play, a play session is now like 15 minutes because my guy's so powerful and I can make it further into the game. So it's a game that, and I don't know if roguelikes are designed intentionally this way, but it's a game that the more you invest, the more time you have to invest on every play session. So every play session gets way longer, and every complete session, not just when you die, but if you decide to play after every time you die, those sessions get longer. So you end up spending way more time in the game the longer you've been playing the game, the more high level your character is. Which is like the opposite of how other games work, right? Because you become more powerful in something like God of War or in whatever, any other game really, and you fly through the level super fast. In a Dark Souls game, you're super powerful. You hit that motherfucker once in an early stage, and he goes down immediately. It doesn't take 5 minutes to fight a guy anymore. But in this game, the levels are getting way longer. You're playing way more time. Is that how roguelikes are designed? Is that purposeful? Or is that just a consequence of creating a roguelike? Very curious about that. I've never worked on a roguelike before. If anybody out there has worked on one, please let me know if that's an intentional design. I'd be very curious to know. Other game I've been playing, completely other side of, again, I think I've been doing this recently where I play a game and another game at the same time, but they're completely opposite. So, Dead Cells, fast-paced action game, Twitch reactions. It's all about dodging, smashing, violent, quick, fast game. Twitch type shit. On the other side, I've been playing Ni no Kuni 2.
Anime.
I never played the first Ni no Kuni. I was very intrigued because it looks like a Studio Ghibli anime, which is always fun. But I never played it because I've kind of found recently that I don't really like JRPGs anymore. I feel like JRPGs have fallen way behind in terms of game design and innovation. I played Final Fantasy, 15? 15? The really crazy expensive one that took forever to come out. That was like a PS4, supposed to be a PS4 launch title. I was really disappointed with that game. I really wanted to like it. I even got it on PC because the graphics were going to be amazing. I played it for like maybe 3 hours and I was like, this game is boring as hell. Like, why am I... This boy band shit is, first of all, is annoying me. But then the gameplay itself, it felt very clunky. It didn't feel very rewarding when you beat characters. It didn't feel like you you had control of your characters, like you knew what you were doing. You didn't have agency, it felt like. It felt like you pressed a button and then the game kind of played itself for you. So I've been kind of off of this modern take on JRPGs where it's turn-based, yes, but there's a lot of real-time movement and sort of AI-controlled party members. I'm not a fan of that. But Ni no Kuni has, the second one anyway, has a charm to it, and the gameplay has been tweaked in a way where it's still sort of hands-off in terms of your party members. But you as a main character still have a lot of agency about what you do. There's lots of ways to fight in a Ni no Kuni fight. You can stand back. You can use your, what do they call them? kinderlings or kitterlings or something like that. It's these little spirit animals that pop up. They're like little Pokemon. They kind of look like the tree demons or gods or spirits that exist in Princess Mononoke. Again, another Studio Ghibli style character. What am I trying to say? I'm saying the combat, I feel like I'm in more control of the combat. It feels easier to play than a traditional RPG because I'm not stuck in menus, but it's way more rewarding than Final Fantasy 15 was when I play combat. Then there's a lot of other sort of mini game aspects of Ni no Kuni 2. There's city building. There's sort of kind of like a materia system or a Final Fantasy skill system, but it's infinitely reconfigurable. You're not locked into a path at all, which I really like. The story kind of stays out of the way. It tells its story quickly. It doesn't bog you down with a bunch of dialogue in between major scenes. They try to cut through a lot of the incidental scenes that happen in typical JRPGs that really serve no purpose and are filled with ellipses and like, you know, reaction sounds and shit. They don't have a lot of that in this game, which I really like. They did a very awesome thing. They made the world map a throwback or an homage to JRPGs of old, where the characters instantly become a miniature, cutified version of themselves.
You mean like chibi style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're running around in the world map, your characters look completely different. I always liked that about the old Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that. I really like the really cutesy mini characters when you're in the overworld. And then when you get into a fight, you see the full-sized, sort of more realistic characters. Art style is fantastic. It looks like a Studio Ghibli cartoon. What more do you want? Backgrounds are great. They look hand-painted in stills. When you pause the game, you swear you're looking at an animation still. It's incredible what they've achieved with cell shading and that kind of shader treatment on characters. I'm really enjoying it. I play that in between bouts of frustration by being killed in Dead Cells, so it's a nice mix. Let me know what you think. Dead Cells, Ni no Kuni 2, has anyone played it? Do you enjoy it? Greasy Says, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or greasysays@gmail.com. Reach out. All right. So between recording that last shit and now, guess what? Your boy got sick again. Got me a nice little sinus infection from the kid. Loving life right now. My head is like, it feels like somebody's in there with one of them dentist drills just going way up in there. Anyway, before I leave, I'm not going to do a meditate. I apologize. There's been like no music in this episode. I also apologize for that. And it being the last episode of the season, it feels like a downer, but whatever, you'll forgive me. I'll be back next year. You'll be fine. But I do have pretty much the most epic, mind-twisting fucking listener comment. And I'll read it for you now. This listener writes in and says, listening to the Web of Lies episode. Go back if you didn't hear that episode. It's called Web of Lies. In that episode, I think I talk about spiders. Oh, and why and why pharmaceutical marketing people should stay the fuck out of games. Go back, listen to it. It's a whole thing. Anyway, this person says, listening to the Web of Lies episode, the part about pharma bros in games. This is a brilliant segment. Thank you. I appreciate you. I was just talking about all this shit with my bro and his friends at the cabin. Stuff like how to use video games to make people want to explore the world and other people in meat space. And when he says meat space, I think he means meat, like we're all pieces of meat. So actually physically meeting each other, except online, not like doing that online. They continue. How can one fight the system using the tools of the system? How can we make a game that puts no value on retention? Basically, we need games that would scare the shit out of the investors in game studios, essentially. And that's the irony. The idea of working for the profit motive of a shareholder class is the church we are all in. It's an ethos that makes a claim as to what is valuable, and the older I get, I see that as a spiritual ethos, same as in a church. But because it can adapt its rules to let people feel individually free, and without silly ancient rules, people don't often notice that they are working inside systems that are making not just an ideological claim, but a spiritual one. Separation and addiction equals profit. End rant for now, maybe. Just put that in your little Gandalf pipe and smoke it, all right? It's a lot. There's a lot packed into that comment. If you didn't get it, go back and listen again. A lot of thoughts in that. And feel free to explore it on your own. Reach out, comment. Greasy Says at gmail.com if you agree with this person, if you have insights that you want to add. Much appreciated. I love this level of comments. Motherfuckers using their brains. I'm into it. Please keep the comments coming. Yep. I mean, I agree on certain levels. Like, there is a certain level of like spirituality that gets infused into companies where you have like these god CEOs and shit like that, where people, they don't even think they're working at a company anymore. They think they're part of a church. And that's a scary thing, because church and religion has a way of brainwashing people through tried and true means. So why wouldn't a company try to exploit those means? You know what I mean? All right, let's wrap it up and get the hell out of here. All my greasy people out there, hope you all have a great break. Hope you spend time with your families. If you want to spend time with your families, I hope you don't if you don't want to. I just hope you get some good rest. Know what I'm saying? Stay greasy. Catch up on old episodes. Tell your aunt who doesn't like foul language to come listen to the Greasy Says podcast. It'll throw her for a loop. Who knows what could happen? She might be a new fan, you know? And look out for new episodes of Greasy Says coming in 2023. I might switch up the order. I might do some different things. Who knows? You just gotta wait and see, all right? So, my greasy people, thanks for coming out all year. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, give me feedback, tell me to go fuck myself. And until next time, it's me, Greasy. And I'm checking out with the room key. Waiters!